The Breaker Spray and Pray. It's the second entry in the Breaker family in the Helldivers Mobilized Warbond, and it's a lot stronger than you think. So let's dive in and see what really makes the Breaker Spray and Pray a truly powerful weapon. So let's start with the pros and cons. Starting with the negative side of things, the Breaker Spray and Pray first and foremostly is light pen. Now for a lot of players, light pen is simply too much of a drawback to even think about trying this weapon. Even after a mere mention of light pen, I bet a percentage of you are already looking for other options. As of course, not being able to hit the single most armored spot on an enemy makes this gun weak. While that is technically true, light pen isn't enough alone to make this weapon outright useless. But let's continue. Another drawback is its damage. While 240 damage may look like a whole bunch, it's really not much in comparison to all the other breakers. And in comparison to other weapons, you genuinely have to consider durable damage. Not to mention, this is a shotgun, and the way pellets work in this game is that all of them have to hit to deal the full damage. Kind of like if you divided the damage up into a dozen angry little gnomes. One gnome isn't going to be all too dangerous on his own, so you're going to need something like 50 gnomes to do any damage at all. When it comes to other breakers, the regular breaker does a lot more damage up front, while the breaker incendiary does burning damage on the side. So that means the breaker kind of sits there being a shotgun like it's supposed to, and the incendiary is probably chilling with your dad at a random barbecue, while the spray and pray is being babysat at home to let the professionals do the work. So what even is the point of this weapon? Well, it's not dealing damage flat out, unless you get really close to your enemies, or they want to specifically touch you, those freaks. You're not going to do much at a distance. So what is good about the Breaker Spray and Pray? Well, that's what I'm here to tell you. It, unlike every other breaker and even other shotguns, has a ridiculous amount of ammo. Its whole purpose quite literally is to spray and pray, and that's it. No, I'm being serious. The only different thing about this weapon straight up is its ammo, at least compared to other breakers. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I could talk about its ergonomics, but that trait is also shared with the other breakers. Okay, let's take a few steps back. I personally really like this weapon, more than the other breakers, in fact. But why? I just said that its only good trait was its ammo count. And I'm gonna be brutally honest, that's the only reason I need. I think if you want to understand why people in the comments glaze the holy essence out of this weapon, it really boils down to ammo. Now let me streamline this even further for you, just so that all of this balderdash I've been saying makes sense to the average caveman here. More ammo, more shots, more kill enemies. So let's bring up the damage again. It sports 240 damage total, which means all 16 pellets have to hit to deal the total damage. But 240 is more than enough to kill lighter chaff in one shot. It's just enough to one-shot warriors, devastators, and funnily enough, stalkers all to the face. So as a primary, this breaker is pretty dang good, especially against factions like the Predator strain, where you are in desperate need of ammo and good enough damage. I've kind of already stated my thoughts with the bugs, so let's just summarize and say that it kills nearly everything with no issues. If it doesn't one tap, it will usually 2 or 3 tap. Brood and Alpha Commanders specifically are 3 to 4 tap to the head and sometimes 2 shot if you land almost all of your pellets. Aside from Biospheres, Heavies, and Bio Titans, this gun covers everything on the bug front. It's an S tier bug primary, since it will deal with the bulk of the horde and you will have more ammo than any of the other breakers. On the illuminate front, it's pretty solid against voteless, which is the most common enemy type you will see besides the rumbling made of flesh mobs. It's not the best against overseers, but it works sometimes. It's also not too bad at killing that flying rat in a seashell, granted that you are within close enough range, but I feel like it struggled a lot against the voteless because they're kind of skinny, just like the bots, which means most of your pellets are going to miss unless you're in a huge crowd. But against the bots? Well, why don't I just let the Gundam Boy here tell you about his experience with the Breaker Spray and Pray on the bots.
Well, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, if you like throwing pepper at your enemies, it works pretty well. I can lightly season them before they fucking come over and beat my ass. And I don't think my Breaker Spray and Pray is gonna do too much. Pepper him! Pepper him! Hold on.
That was a good idea.
Yeah, accuracy through sheer firepower. See, you know, it works as long as you, like, camp an angle and just hold down the trigger. Let's see how many breaker spray and shots to kill the heavy devs with from here.
Dude, the heavy devs don't even take damage because of their shield.
still peppering those soda dudes. You know they yell berserker as they charge you.
Oh, somebody got the headshot. So not effective so far.
I think we did use more of like our support stuff.
I use the breaker spray and pray against devastators. Is your breaker spray and pray maximum choked? Look at your accuracy, by the way. This thing inflates your accuracy. Even if one pellet hits the robot, it counts as a hit. It's so funny. So like even if you miss the majority of your shots, you get a flex on your team that you have a higher accuracy, even though you don't.
I think I'm using a full choke.
So far, what are your thoughts? It's just not working.
It's not working for me emotionally. This weapon has harmed me in the past.
Okay, so elaborate on that. How has it harmed you in the past?
Long time ago, when I started playing Helldivers 2, I went to the store to spend some lovely Warbond medals on a nice medic armor set. Turns out the game likes to bug out once in a while, and you have to control your movement in the store with the arrow keys instead of your mouse. And then I ended up buying breaker spray and pray, and not the armor. And I had to spend another few major orders waiting to get more medals and doing a bit of missions before I had a good team. I still want my medals back.
He and I definitely had a difference of opinion here, but he is still absolutely right. Unless you plan on getting close to the bots, which isn't ideal for most players, this gun is usually pretty bad, especially at a distance. But close range, this thing kind of rocks. Why? Well, for one thing, it's actually a lot easier to hit headshots when you're within near melee range. And just so that you guys know I'm not just making this up, you can check out this gameplay video on difficulty 10 where I use this in a loadout. The spread is a lot more narrow, since it doesn't really get the time to spread out. Aiming for headshots with anything precision-based at these ultra-close ranges will likely get you killed, because even if you have the time to react, you simply don't have the precision when something is this close to your face. But the breaker spray and pray completely changes this. When you're this close, you are a force to be reckoned with. It's kind of an exhilarating playstyle, since your whole purpose is to go in deep and shoot all of your enemies point blank. Is this practical? No, unless you're a ballsy daredevil or you have the warp pack. But it's actually kind of hilarious to me that it kind of works, at least for me. Would another breaker be more practical? Well, the breaker probably would get you more consistent headshots, but if you ever need to mag dump a fan club of berserkers, the breaker spray and pray is there in case you might want some extra ammo. Fire damage is bugged at the time of making this video, so unless you're the host, the breaker incendiary is just a nerfed breaker spray and pray. But yeah, it's a pretty solid gun, and I personally feel like it fits in well in the breaker family. Here are the loadouts I used. For the bugs, breaker spray and pray, grenade pistol, gas grenades, orbital gas strike, 500 kg, quasar cannon, shield generator backpack, and the light engineering kit armor. For the illuminate, I took the breaker spray and pray, the grenade pistol, the pyrotech grenades, orbital gas strike, Gatling sentry, the laser cannon, the jump pack, and the medium unflinching armor. And finally, for the bots, I took the breaker spray and pray, the loyalist, the stun grenades, the orbital Gatling barrage, eagle strafing run, the commando, the warp pack, and medium fortified armor. Anyway, that's all I have to say about this weapon. If you've enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like, and if you want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe. It helps a ton, and it means a lot.
Want to be loved.
Look at this, guys.
TheGundamBoi is scrumptious. What can I say? He's hot. He's a cutie. Okay,
I just leveled it up to 25. You guys ruined my big moment. All right.
Oh, look, it's finally level 20. He's scrumptious. Meow. Like in the background.